Off-Grid Nation here. Hope everyone's doing well. I want to take a minute here. It's Friday morning, the 14th of April. No, it's the 15th of April. That's right. A couple of announcements. Today is Liberty Bell, Let Freedom Ring. Remember, Eastern Time, 7:23. Pacific Coast Time, 4:23 p.m. Make some noise. Let people know that we are standing up for our Constitution and for the patriots that are sitting in jail right now. So make some noise at that time tonight. If anyone asks you the question why you're blowing your horn, playing loud music, setting off fireworks or whatever, let them know. Let them know that you're standing up for freedom. Hopefully spreading that message does some good. Also, another announcement, I've been getting people asking me about Gavin Seim coming to Charlotte. And we are still trying to finalize the date. Right now, it looks like it's either going to be Mother's Day, which is Sunday, May 8th, or Monday, May 9th. Now, initially, Gavin said, hey, let's do May 8th. And I said, that's cool with me, but you realize that's Mother's Day. And he said, you know what, I overlooked that fact. Let me think on it. And then he came back with May 9th, which was Monday. I was hoping he'd come back with Saturday, because I think we get a better turnout if it was a weekend. But he hasn't made a decision on that yet. So if you have preference or thoughts as to whether or not you'd be better able to attend on Sunday or Monday, let me know as soon as you can. I'll pass that along to him, and we'll see if he can make any adjustments. Also, we're looking for a place to hold the meeting. Now, initially, I thought maybe a local park. We can do it outside. And some of the messages he wrote back to me was that that's fine, but then we're opening up the door to hecklers, protesters, that kind of thing. And he wants this to be more of an educational meeting than a rally. He wants to educate the people that show up on some of the problems that we have and then present solutions. So if you have an idea of maybe a more private setting that can accommodate hopefully several hundred people, gosh, I'd like to see lots of people show up to this thing. Let me know. And of course, we're operating on a budget of zero, so maybe the trade-off would be if it's a venue that serves food and drinks, soft drinks, then maybe they'd be able to profit that way and give us a meeting space for free. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about was I think many of you are still painfully unaware of what's really happening out there. And I'm not talking to the core group of folks. I'm talking to the people that I get a lot of people that dislike my videos when it comes to some of the political stuff, especially when I mention anything that might be anti-establishment or anti-Trump. I get thumbs downs, I get people that unsubscribe, and that's cool. I don't care whether or not you watch the videos, truthfully. If you want to unsubscribe, feel free. The door's open. The door swings both ways, so if you want to get out of here, you're free to leave. But it seems like anytime I mention the fact that, I don't believe in the system or I'm not going to vote, I get some tremendous pushback. And I do have the ability and the knowledge on how to make some intricate videos where I can include all kinds of video clips in there. But frankly, I don't have the time to do it. And there's so many out there right now that do a great job of it, that I'm just not going to spend the time to actually put together one of those videos myself. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put links in the description of this video to videos that I think say everything that I would say better than I would say it, and I think you should watch them. In a nutshell, if you still think that voting in the election process matters, and you get angry if I say anything to the contrary, I think you need to watch these videos. There is no election. It's a selection. The selection's been made for you. If voting actually mattered, they wouldn't allow you to do it. That's the plain and simple truth. And if you don't believe me, just look at what's happening to Bernie Sanders and the fact that he's getting a majority of the popular support and Hillary Clinton's getting all the delegates. And look at Colorado as just one example of the Trump situation. I mean, it seems to me that there's been popular support behind Trump in a much greater numbers than any of the other candidates on the Republican side. And yet, the establishment decides, gee, you know what, we're just not going to allow voting in this situation, and we're going to give all the delegates to the other guy. So if you still think that the system matters, I'm going to challenge you to think again on that. It doesn't. They've already made the choice. They already know what they're going to do, and they already know what the agenda is. And regardless of who gets put in there, selected by the elite oligarchy that run this country and run the world, it's not going to matter whether or not you show up and who you vote for. That's the truth. And you can thumbs down me for that, and you can unsubscribe to me for that. That's fine. So there's the announcements on that front. Another message I want to get across is the fact that I did a video the other day on the banking system and some of the closed door secret meetings that are going on, and I'm not sure that the message hits home to enough of you to a point to where you're actually doing anything about it. Uh, I'm going to put a link to a video by Greg Hunter. He did an interview with Rob Kirby on USA Watchdog. And man, this guy spells it right out. And again, in a nutshell, he's saying that he thinks there's a strong chance that the new Chinese, I guess I forget what they call it, but it's basically in order to do international commerce, global commerce, you have to go through what's called the SWIFT payment system right now, which is basically a Western culture payment system, and it's transacted in dollars. Well, the Chinese have set up an alternative to that, and also the Chinese look like they're possibly getting ready to have a gold-backed yuan. So their currency looks like it's going to be backed by gold, if not entirely, at least a percentage. And there's a real high chance that that's going to literally kill the dollar. So we've been talking about it for quite some time. And I don't know if many of you are truly appreciating the fact of what that might mean to you here in this country. If you wake up on Monday, whether it be this Monday or 10 Mondays from now or 110 Mondays from now, if you wake up and your dollar is killed, assassinated, and what it's going to mean to you financially, economically, and then the chaos that's going to ensue from there. So I know a lot of you get it, and I know a lot of you are preparing for it, but I don't know that all of us really get what that means or could mean. And I'm not looking to be an alarmist here. I'm not looking to put out fear porn. I'm just looking to try to get you to understand what that potentially could mean for us here in this country and globally. There's going to be repercussions globally, but we will feel it the hardest here in this country. And you know what? It's only fair to some degree because we've enjoyed the fact that we've been able to basically export our dollars to everywhere in the world for the last 50 years, 60 years, however long it's been since Bretton Woods. I guess it was 1946. So what are we talking? 70 years now. Time does fly. Anyway, guys, watch those videos. Comment, let me know what you think. And if it upsets you, what you hear, if your belief in the system, and I know if you're watching this, you truly don't believe in the system, and that's cognitive dissonance, people. I mean, your own thought process is arguing with yourself. I mean, you're basically arguing with yourself. You know the government's corrupt. You know the system is corrupt from head to toe, and yet you want to argue and get upset when I say something about the process or any particular candidate. No candidate that's running for office right now is going to change the trajectory that this country finds itself in right now. And it ain't going to happen. And if a candidate was going to do so, they would not last. So if let's pretend Donald Trump's the real deal and he's going to take back America and make America great, how long do you think he's going to last in office? The answer is he's not. So change is going to come from the bottom up, not the top down. I keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying that. Make changes in your own life, but get involved in what's happening out there, guys. Write letters, write emails, make phone calls. Get involved. It's up to us to protect whatever bit of constitutional republic we have left in this country, and then start pushing back, get on the offensive, and start actually trying to reform this country into what our framers, what our founders gave us. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for your kids and your grandkids. I can't imagine what this country is going to look like in 5 years, let alone 50. It's going to be a scary place. It's a scary place now. Finally, I had a message from somebody that sent me a private Facebook message. I'm not going to say their name, but they basically wanted to know where I fall on law enforcement. Am I pro-law enforcement, anti-law enforcement? Well, I'll say this, dude. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you probably should have already known that. But I am I'm anti this. And I'm pro this. I hope that answers your question.